straight and informative episode of Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. I am Henry Igwebike. We kick off today with our newspapers, and right after that, hopefully, would be our main conversation also for today. Do well to be part of what we do, have a say in what we say. You can always reach us when you visit us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. We are being joined right now virtually by Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid, Barrister Law Public Affairs Analyst, to see through what we have from our newspapers and possibly our main conversation for today. Good morning, Barrister, and welcome.
Good morning, Henry. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so very much, Barrister, for your time. We know you have lots of busy schedule you have going on, but we still want to thank you for the time that you spared for us this morning. Barrister, I love us to take on the Guardian newspaper this morning. Litany of interesting stories. First Lady's humanitarian donation hit 12.9 billion in 2 years. I know we talked about it yesterday, and you did mention how that her position and her office is not constitutionally penned up on our lives, but she is making and donating so much money, and Nigerians are asking, where is she getting all this money from? 12.9 billion in 2 years. I know they are billionaires, so is it possible that she's getting that money from the money saved by their family to Nigerians?
No, that's not the information she gave us. What she said was that she has a foundation, and that foundation is what is using to do that. That foundation is being used to generate money from people, and the money being donated to them is what you see that they are giving out to people. So, but the point is, or the question is, who are these people donating the money? Where are the money coming from? What are the details? Where do they get those who are donating the money? Where do they get the money from? Is it from their personal business or government? Are they public servants? Are they civil servants? Are they private business owners? These are the questions we need to ask. But the point is that the wife of the president is not acting based as an officer of the government. What she's doing has to do with her foundation. But that, I can't remember the name now. Maybe probably the New Hope.
They say Renewed Hope Initiative.
Renewed Hope Initiative. So yes. From that Renewed Hope Initiative, you know, in Nigeria, if you are Mr. Henry, the way you are now,
yes.
If you become governor tomorrow, or
yes.
just tomorrow, next tomorrow, Friday, and your wife became the wife of the governor. Yeah. If she wants to raise 100 million in 1 minute, she'll be able to get it.
Very well.
So probably she's using that position to get money. But my question is, those who are giving the money, where do they get the money from? Are they government officers? Are they civil servants? So I'm not saying the people are giving her money. Yes. But who are the people giving her money?
But Barrister, should we be disturbed? Should we be concerned about people who are giving her money, or we should be excited? At least the money is going to somewhere that is useful, because there are a lot of places the money is going to. It is said that when it comes to health, 2 billion is pledged for tuberculosis intervention between 2024 or 2025. Disability empowerment, 1.8 billion to 9 billion. Goes to 9,250 persons with disability. Internally displaced persons, she's given 1 billion. Military families and widows, she's given 427 million. Education, she's given 100 million. Women and traders, she's given 150 million. And it goes on and on. So should we be excited that at least this money is going somewhere, and not bother ourselves about who is donating the money?
That is not the way to go. If you are doing that, we are not helping the nation. It's like saying Mr. A, who was alleged to have stolen something, or say 1 billion naira, and the money was traced to Mr. C, D, and E. And when they get to Mr. C, D, and E, they realize that Mr. C, D, and E are generous donors. They are philanthropists, and they have been giving people the money. So we now say, because they've been spending giving people money, the money that was stolen by somebody that was given to them should be ignored. So, but I'm not saying that the money that was given to the wife of the president was stolen. But I'm saying until we know who and who gave the money, what is their work? Are they private business owners? Are they in government? Are they minister? Are they commissioner? Are they SA? Are they PA? Are they civil servants? Are they business owners? That's not too much to ask. While we appreciate that the money is being spent in the to support people, that does not mean we must take our eyes out of the source of the income. So you know what, in Yoruba land, I don't know how to interpret it. They say or let me just say, don't let me go to that area. You know, it may even be a way of laundering money. Those who have stolen money, we just invest it, we give it to her, then she spend it. So that's so speaking. She may not know that money was stolen. But for the money to be genuinely spent, once they give it to her, she spent it. Everybody will believe it was. They won't know that the money was stolen thereafter. So for me, it could be in that. So that we need to investigate it. That's the point I'm making. I'm not suggesting. I'm not alleging that any money has been stolen by the first lady, by the wife of the president. I'm saying the source of that income or those money must be must be if that person is that kind of thing is being done by individual who does not have any who is not a first lady or wife of the president. I'm very sure the satellite will have been on that person. Say, we don't know what to do. We don't know your work. Because as it is today, I don't know what the first lady. He doesn't have a job. She doesn't. She's just a wife of the president. She's doing a housewife job, and with her own with her what's it called, initiative too. So that initiative is where the money is coming from, and we have been told that it's being donated by people. So, but the point is, who are the donors? That is the question.
Very true, Barrister.
We must not look away from it.
Yeah,
it's not say because the money is being given to people.
Yeah.
And they take our eyes out of it.
Yeah, it's very, very true, Barrister. I think it's very important we do a forensic analysis and investigation on this money. It's just like the story of Robin Hood, stealing from the people and giving back to the people. It doesn't really make any sense. And I think a lot of things that should be looked into that particular matter. But Barrister, I love us to look at the story of the moment. It might really not be a hard story, but I think because it is trendy, I love us to talk about it, and I love to have your say on what you think. Ayende risk, that is Kwam 1, ban over unruly behavior at Abuja airport. There's a viral video going on right now of the musician who wanted to have his way while he was about to travel, and the people in authority stopped him. And he went to the front of the plane and said, if you want to jam me, jam me. So is this because he is very connected to Abuja and to the president that he has this gusto to want to do that against the will of safety and precaution in our airspace?
I will not say so, and I will not also reject that. There are so many people who are connected with the president who are very close to the president who are not behaving in that manner. So if he's behaving in that manner, that is his own way of behavior, and that is his own way. He behave as if Alhaji Wasiu Ayinde Marshal is a town guy, and he's been long on the streets. And in Lagos, when those boys want to collect money from Danfos and they are not giving them, what they do, they go to the front and they try to block him or remove something.
So he's demonstrating that.
Probably trying to exhibit that. Maybe probably because of that where he comes from and he's used to that. So it's like it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that a man of that caliber is behaving in that manner. Not whatever that must have happened. Notwithstanding whether or not the airline operators are they wrong or not. I'm not even looking at that now. Look at that maturity that you should behave. You are not an ordinary Nigerian. You are a special human being. I'm very sure if he were not to be Alhaji Wasiu Ayinde Marshal, that person probably would be in custody by now.
Definitely, he would have been arrested. Definitely would be arrested.
Probably will be in court today. So it's the Olori Omoba of Ijebu land, the head of a particular clan, the head of a particular town or something. I don't know what it is. But what is owed in the society, very, very fighter. It should not be seen as somebody who will be creating. If Alhaji Wasiu Ayinde was to board a flight in the UK, will he exhibit that kind of behavior? So that's why I say I probably because he believes they are in power and he's close to the person in power, just like you said. Probably because of that, or probably because his own way of attitude. People have been complaining about Alhaji Wasiu's attitude, that it's unruly and he misbehave and all those things. Probably he's exhibiting that now. So coupled with the fact that now you now realize that, look, the person in power is my person. Nothing can happen to me. So, and it shows that people in authority in Nigeria, or people with influence in Nigeria, see themselves as above the law. Once they have that kind of relationship, they see themselves as, I can't be banned by law. I'm very sure, even in abroad, even ordinary bottled water, they will not allow you to take it past
not supposed to.
that.
Yeah, very well.
How did they allow him to call his flask? How did they allow him? So this is the issue. These are the issues. You see, we like this high service thing. That's why he was able to do. So if they have taken that away from him, and I'm very sure that will not be the first time that will have been taking that particular thing along with him while trying to vote. But for me, I am not looking at whether or not the airline or whatever have their own wrong or they don't have their own wrong. What I'm looking at is whether or not the attitude exhibited by Alhaji Wasiu is that attitude that should be exhibited by a person of his own caliber. It's above that. It should be a mentor. It should be somebody people will look into and say, look, I want to behave like this man. He's always in a wrong the way most times the habit and attitude is always wrong. He exhibits attitude of somebody who's not well. Sorry, let me take it back. He exhibits that attitude of I don't care or behave anyhow. I don't want to use that one I want to use before. That is the proper one to capture it. But it will be like I am insulting him.
Yes. And
he's an elderly person. He's almost 70 or even
wow,
not 70.
Really?
He's almost 70 or even not 70.
Wow, he looks very young.
So
he
was lucky. He has a good stature and he has made money and he's connected. So I do not think he should be behaving in that manner. By whiskey, he escaped death. By whiskey, he just escaped death. So I think he should just learn how to hold himself in public. So many videos of his misbehavior attitude are in public. So many attitude that has exhibited that is not in line with his standard has been exhibited, has been trending. Sorry. So I think Alhaji should look back, see himself as an elder, see himself as a superstar, see himself as a role model. So that he will be wary of his behavior whenever he's in public. That's my advice to him. Yeah, I think he's on 4-4. He's on because I know like I said again, I know he will not exhibit that attitude outside the country.
Very well, barrister, because the truth remains.
So it's deliberate.
Yes, it's very deliberate. You know, Nigeria is a country where anything and everything goes. We take lots of things for granted, and that's the reason our politicians, you know, they abuse the law. They don't respect rules and regulations, and they have the right to equally, you know, ask us to go to court, even when they are the ones at fault. But I'd love us to take this other matter, barrister. Appeal court restores interim forfeiture order. Yes.
Eddie, let me add this.
Please.
Eddie, let me add this. You see, this happened because similar one that has happened, nobody was punished. Senator Oshomole did the same thing.
Exactly.
Similar thing. And people are even blaming the airport authority. They are telling the story from their behavior or what they do. They forget to look at what the senator did. That is not proper for him in his standard. Like I said again, Alhaji Wasiu is 68 years now. I just checked. He's 68 years. There's an elderly person. He's grandpa, and he's somebody that should be respected. He should be a respected person that should be. He should be responsible. That's my point.
Thank you so very much, barrister. Let's look at Yahaya Bello again. Appeal court restores interim forfeiture order on assets linked to Yahaya Bello. Barrister, aren't you surprised that despite the fact that Yahaya Bello is within the ranks and files of the APC, he's being prosecuted like he is in the opposition? What is happening here? Because this is the first time I am seeing someone who has lots of stake in the ruling party is being prosecuted like he is with the opposition. What is happening here?
Do you expect them to just look away just like that? Even do you know? Have you seen the end of the case? Has he been convicted? They will not. It's not a case. You'll just sweep under the carpet like that. They will have to do. That will be logical. That will be tactical. So I'm very sure I will wait till the end of the case before I can make my comment and say, so notwithstanding, he was still even if he's convicted. Yes, I will look at the conviction. I will look at the judgment and see whether or not the judgment can be for what he has done, and the judgment whether or not they can be the what's it called? The match, because they can come and say, okay, you are hereby convicted, and then your house at number Kinikan is hereby seized. All that thing will be given, will be left alone. So that will be like a bargain, and then he will go, and that will be, I will say, he has been convicted, the property has been seized. It may not be enough judgment for me. So let's just wait and see how it ends.
So, Barrister, are you saying that all of this, according to a layman watching this is just but abracadabra, hocus pocus that is happening there, that all of these things are whitewashed? It doesn't really make any sense.
I'm not saying so. I'm not saying so. I am saying that I will not be celebrating this, or I will not be going in with your position that despite the fact that he's an APC man, he's been treated in this manner. It may be a game. It may be. I'm not saying with authority, and don't quote me. I'm just saying it's not. It may not be. It may be a part of the system of tactics to get him off the hook. Mr. Ayodele Fayose, has he not been left off the hook now? Was he not? Was he at the point? Was his property not seized? Was he not being released to him? Was his account not blocked at the time? And has he not been? So it's a matter of Mr. Oji Sokalu, Senator Oji Sokalu, was he not convicted? Has the conviction not been overturned?
Very true, Barrister.
So me, I will not fall. But in fact, when you say they charge somebody to court, I'm not always excited about it until I see the end of the case. Because even sometimes the charge they will prefer it will be a kind of charge that they know that they will not sustain, and then the guy will go scot-free. So let's just see how it pans out. Let's see the end of the case before we can say whether or not, or whether we can say kudus to the government or not kudus to them.
All right, Barrister. Let's look at the Vanguard newspaper for today, and we have it. And this is coming from Emir Sanusi. Thieves shouldn't be rewarded with ministerial appointments. Barrister, we can't overstate some of these things, but that is the reality we have in Nigeria. Especially lots of people will say with this administration, it is more of a transactionary appointment of ministers than it is about their capability and their ability to bring forth what they're supposed to do. Barrister, as a journalist, do you know it is so not interesting actually that I do not know most of the ministers? In fact, I can count a handful of them. Maybe Minister for Power, Adela Obu, Devo Mahi, Minister of the FCT, Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, and maybe another person, Minister of Health. The rest, I do not know who they are. So also do Nigerians. They don't know who these people are. So what Emir Sanusi is saying, what do you think about that?
It's not even about knowing them. If you don't know, you don't even have to know them. If they are working and the work is showing, then we don't bother. But the point is that they are not feasible and they are not working. That is the most unfortunate part of it. You see, it is it's not only this regime. The attitude of rewarding people who are led to be corrupt did not start today. It's been there and it's been continued under this regime on political ground. Most of the people in government today, most of the people in APC today who are minister, who are senator, or other APC, PDP, or whatever, who have been in government before now, and they are still in government today as a minister, as a PA, SA, or whatever position they are holding. Majority of them have one time or the other been alleged of corruption. Even the Senate president today, at the time he was campaigning to become Senate president, he was receiving invitation from EFCC on allegation of corruption. He was at the National Assembly to defend the corrupt allegation, where the issue of where the popular of your mic became an issue. Former deputy Senate president, Chief Omagege, he became he became deputy state president because of his attitude when he stole when he was alleged when it was alleged that he stole the maize to prevent certain people from doing certain things. So and the reward, and thereafter, immediately after that, he became the deputy state president. That was a reward for the attitude he executed. You see, some of these things that under this current administration, I can also mention about 2 or 3 people. The current minister of defense, state, I think so. The former governor of Samfara. He was at the time he was appointed. There was an allegation against him that's been investigated by EFCC. And yet, the next thing we hear is that he has been appointed as minister, and that was the end of it. So I agree totally with Alhaji Sanusi, and in similar vein, Chief Falana, SAN, said the same thing, and which I agree with them, that most of the people being appointed are people who have one criminal allegation or corrupt allegation on their neck, who have not been cleared. But they will come and say, no, have they been convicted? Because they have not been convicted, so we cannot say they are corrupt. So that is the point. So the point is that people who are in government today are people who cannot trust their integrity, are people who cannot trust their honesty, are people with tainted integrity and loyalty. So these are the people we have in authority, and that's why you don't. Some of them are not even competent. That's why you are not hearing them, or you are not seeing them, you are not knowing them, because they don't know what they are supposed to do. Some of the people that you people have been praising before now as the best minister, they will do 1 or 2 jobs, and that 1 or 2 jobs will be what everybody will carry and say, because of this 1 or 2 jobs, he has become the best. Look at the minister for interior minister. Yes. What has he done apart from passports? I don't know any other thing. Yeah. Tell me if you can tell me any other thing that has done that apart from their passports. And people will talk to you and say one of our best minister is this minister. Ask them to tell you what has done. They will mention passport, and that will be the end. I see passport. I see in an exam when you have 10 questions, answer 4. You answer just 1, and you left the 3. Is that a pass mark? Will you earn a pass mark? So some of them are like that. The minister of FCT, the only thing that we have been seeing is that it's constructing roads, as if we don't need as if education don't need attention, as if health don't need attention, as if so many other welfare packages don't need attention. So the point is that the point is that I agree with Emir Sanusi. Is he Emir Sanusi now?
Yes. Sanusi.
Because we have two Emirs in Kano.
Is Emir Sanusi?
I'm saying so because we have 2 now. I don't know which one is.
No, he is the substantive one. He is the substantive down. The other one is still somewhere in Nasarawa State. So he is the one currently in Kano.
Who did that? Is it you or court?
Well, that's what we have.
I'm aware he is still in court, and I'm aware both of them are operating as Emir. So I will not sit here. I'm not supporting any of them. I don't. But I will not sit here to say somebody is now the authentic or not authentic. No, I will not validate that until that is validated by the court. So for me, I agree with him. That is the position. Majority of the people who are supposed to be punished, who are supposed to be in prison, are the one being given more opportunity. And that is why you see today what the use of some most people are concerned about is just make money. Just make money. How you make the money, people don't care. Just make the money, you'll be celebrated. And that's why you see a particular musician. What did he say? King Shot low, meaning make I just make money. So how the money will come? I don't care. And truly, when you become rich, when you have money today, yesterday you are trekking, you don't have anything. In the next day you just make money, you buy 3, 5 cars. You see people surrounding you, praising you. They will not even ask questions. What be this guy we saw yesterday? Where they trade for they won't ask you questions. They will be praising you. You see a student who was being sponsored by his father go to school, and the second year he comes home with a what's it called, a car, and the father will not raise alarm. The father will be celebrating. So that is the kind of thing we are breeding. So and that's how you see other people want to follow suit and say, well, anyway, let me just make the money. People will celebrate me.
Very
so
bad
that's what we're celebrating in the country.
Yes.
Not only politicians. In every aspect of our life, we have become so concerned about making money, and that's how we make it is not concerned of anybody any longer.
Very lamentable, a very bitter truth, but it has to be told. Where our society is riddled with get it rich or die trying phenomena. That is what we have. We have a decayed society. We have a society that the swamp is very dirty, so very dirty. The question is, who would help us clean that swamp up? That is the question. Barrister will still be here to take us on our main conversation. When we return, parents blame Waec for poor SSCE results. It's still Enterprise Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. For being back, and if you just joined us, it's still Enterprise Morning, reaching you from Enterprise Television. Our main conversation for today: the mass failure in the 2025 Waec exams has triggered widespread concern from parents, teachers, and educational bodies, with only 38.92% of candidates passing both English language and mathematics. Several groups, including Concerned Parents and Educators Network (CPE), have called for the cancellation and possible retake of the English papers, especially after reports surfaced that some students wrote the exams at night under poor conditions like torchlight, rain, and candles. Emotional reactions online highlight frustration over systemic failure in Nigeria's educational system. The National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools condemned the late-night exam sessions, calling them detrimental to students' performance. And also, NAPSA President Yomi Otubela blamed the infrastructural decay, poor teachers training, and underfunding as key contributor to the poor outcome. He urged a better collaboration between private and public stakeholders, stressing that children in rural areas are particularly disadvantaged due to lack of digital access and substandard learning environment. Meanwhile, Waec implemented tighter anti-cheating measures this year, like serializing objective questions. Critics argue that deeper issues remain unresolved. I still have with me Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid. Thank you so very much, Barrister, for hanging on.
Thank you for having me.
All right, Barrister, just before we get to discuss this very sensitive matter, I remember when we wrote our own Waec, when I wrote my own Waec, sometimes in the mid-90s. It was a wonderful experience. You know, it was a situation where you have to prepare. Even if there are issues of expo, they were there, but it wasn't that very popular. So every student had to prepare. And equally, Waec was on ground to ensure that a paper started on time, it ended at the right time it is supposed to end. With the situation we have right now in Nigeria in 2025, when we think technology must have made things better, but rather we have a Waec that is going 2 steps forward and 21 steps backward, do you think we would have a future where Nigerian students would compete with other students around the world?
Yeah, I think Nigerians will always compete everywhere they go, anytime, any day. With or without the condition of our environment. We are very determined. We are very rugged people. We are people who, when we are pushed to war, that's when we get more energy. So the Nigeria will see the compete and they will compete favorably. Don't forget that we just had 2 of our daughters who made us proud abroad academically. So even though the government is yet to reward them with $100 million,
$100,000 US dollars.
And a house in Abuja. They are here to see them.
Yes.
So we are rugged, we are determined, and we are committed to whatever we are doing, with or without the situation on ground. You see, the problem here is not only about Waec. It's about the foundation, the society decadence, the society, the corruption in the society, the society problem. These are the reasons why this is like the way it is. It's not about only Waec. Even some of the parents who are complaining, they are contributors.
How?
I have seen that.
How, Barrister?
I have seen when when my first daughter was to do a primary school, what's it called? What they call it? Common entrance, or what they call it again?
Common entrance.
I will take them to
secondary school.
I'll take them to secondary school. That was early. That was recently, about 7 or 8 years ago or more. I was there. I took my daughter there, and I saw a parent liaising and negotiating how somebody, also a student that is writing the same common entrance, will help the daughter in the hall. I've seen parents who will pay money to buy the results. Even while in secondary school or primary school, they pay money to teachers to make sure that their student is always taking first or second or winning awards. So parents are also contributors. They are. It's not only Waec. The system is bad. The Waec, I'm not saying the Waec have done well. They have their own. In fact, the day that particular exam, English or whatever, happened, where we are told that people wrote exam using Torchlight. That was the day I expect people to have protested and ask that the exam be cancelled and rewritten. They waited till the exam is the result is released, and then now. So for me, we are not well. If you don't plan well, you plan to fail. There is no proper planning. There is no proper foundation. We are like, for example, now in our education system today, this will be the policy today. You are not sure of what will be the policy next week. There is inconsistency in our policy. They will tell you now they want to introduce a computer exam or whatever exam they want to continue. They will not even give proper notice, long notice. They will not give. They will give 1, 2, 3, 2 months notice. When most of our schools, particularly the public school, don't even know what they call computer.
Very true.
So the way and manner we do things is the reason why things are the way it is. And the corruption in the system, not only about the Waec, it's about everywhere. The system, the society. As long as the society is corrupt, as long as the society is not working well, all the institutions will continue to fail. That's why you see the judiciary not doing its job the way it should be done. That's why you see the other sector not working the way they should work. So it's not only about a particular, and that's why I always maintain that if you are concentrating on particular sector and say, how can we improve our judiciary? How can we improve our education sector? Without the foundation properly laid, we are going to jump and return to the same spot. So for me, the Waec is not proper. It did not do proper planning. Because I do not see why exams will be written in the middle of the night when there is no provision for electricity, when there is no provision for proper supervision, when there is no provision for proper security, when some students are not even living in those areas where the exam is being written. So there are so many things, and I do not expect any students who was under pressure of the night to write exam. Passing that exam is going to be difficult for most of them to pass. So I was expecting that when that happened, those affected should have been asked to rewrite, because it's not all of them.
Yes,
it's not all of them. And you see, as we are talking about this failure, there are schools now promoting, giving whose students have done well, and so why is it happening? Why is it happening? There are so many factors. Those schools, probably because of the standards, they did well. Probably they have good teachers who are well paid. Probably they have good environments. Can we talk about our public schools? Yeah. I wish that Waec will release the statistics and tell us social school, public school, number of public school, this number of the students that passed, private school. Then we'll be able to understand it more. Because I'm of opinion that most of this failure will come from the public school. Because they are not well taken care of. The teachers are not well taken care of. The environment is not conducive enough. Most of the students are not even because these days in Nigeria, who attend public schools are people who are struggling. I'm sorry to say, most people who are not struggling, even the people who are struggling today, struggle to take their children to private school. So most people who are in public school today are people who are struggling, and people who are not even concerned much about education. Then just go there. Just go and do your. So there are a lot of things to be done. It's not something you just wake up one day and think it will work. It's a matter of proper planning. We don't have that proper planning. We just expect that miracle will happen and things will change. The Waec has not done well. The parents have not done well. Some of the parents have not done well. the students have not done well. Some of the students don't read. They don't care about. They don't read. They don't prepare. They are looking for money. We now have courts in primary school.
Yeah.
Court member in primary school. We now have court member in secondary school. I tell you, when I was at the Polytechnic or University, we have little or no court member in my school, Maiduguri, at the University at Maiduguri. We hear little about courtism. I'm not saying it does not exist, though, but it's not well pronounced. They are underground.
Yeah.
But today it's well pronounced everywhere you go, even in primary school. So most of them are not even concerned about reading again. They are not concerned about preparing. They are looking for a way out. Some of them they know how to bribe their teacher. They know how to bribe that. And some parents are involved in it. I know parents who will be looking for money to pay for special center. They will pay for special center. These days in the universities, I hear people who talk about a project. They will say they should bring money. They no longer like projects. They pay for it, and the teacher will award mark. So the system is rotting from the background, from the primary to secondary school. Everything is now not being well taken care of. So if you don't have proper foundation, which is the primary and secondary school, you can't get a proper university graduates. And that's why we are having difficult today.
Yes.
We have graduates who can hold their own and say, I'm a graduate, and defend the certificate is holding.
Yes, Barrister, let's look at the role of representatives. Every corner of Nigeria is taken care of or is under the control of a parliamentarian, either from the State House of Assembly or the Federal House of Assembly or the local government chairman or the state governor and the president. So every corner of Nigeria is covered by somebody who should be in charge. Now let's take a look at the roles of those people. Constituency allowances go to even as small as the councillor representing 2 streets or 4 streets anywhere in Nigeria. What do you think could be their responsibility when it comes to education? A very good example, Barrister, very dark man who is not a representative of anything, he's just an activist. We can see visibly what he has done to educational institutions in Nigeria. The University of Jos, he went there and had a song for them, something that there is a member of the House representing that constituency in the state and in the federal, but they didn't think about that. But it took an activist to have that done with close to 20+ million naira. What is the role of representatives, especially when regards to education, empowerment, and orientation in Nigeria?
Can you hear me, Henry?
Yes, I can hear you very well. I can hear you, Barrister. Are you still with us, Barrister? Can you hear me? Okay, I think we're having a little bit of a glitch there. And it's Barrister Tunji Abdul Hamid, and we're talking about the decay in our educational system. Barrister, can you hear me?
Your question or what you said. You see, we are where we are today, particularly since the start of the democracy, a so-called democracy. We are where we are today because we don't have a National Assembly that is responsible. Particularly in the last 8 or so years, we don't have the National Assembly that is responsible, that knows his job. If we have National Assembly that know their job, they will not be where we are today. The kind of debt we incur will not be there. The kind of lack of this and that in some of the areas we are talking about will not be there. I'm not saying it's their job to do it. It's not the job of any member of Assembly or National Assembly to do a ball. It is not their job to do road.
But they get constituency allowances. What is the constituency allowance?
They have a responsibility. Listen, they have a responsibility. The constituency allowance you are talking about is to give to that. Is to use it as a stipend for supporters. They will be ailing them. They have the responsibility. They are not supposed to be taking They are not supposed to be taking what you call constituency allowance. It's not their responsibility to do anything road, anything construction. If they want to do it, that is to be done by their own personal money and with their own personal money. What they have, their responsibility is to facilitate it, to put pressure on the government. Why I say government, I'm talking about the executive. Put pressure on the executive to ensure that this school is lacking this. Please, can you make sure it's there? That one is that, but they were not taking themselves as being the contractor because they will make more money. So they now want to face it. They left their major job of representation of talking to the executive on behalf of the people. So the point is that member.
Can you hear me, Barrister? Okay, we're still having issues with our connection there. And Barrister was speaking to the issue of our representatives not doing what they should do. Their responsibility ordinarily is to canvass and ensure that the executive...
We want to align. Okay.
Are you still with me, Barrister? Okay, I think we're still having a little bit of that glitch there. We hope that it would restore. But of course, Barrister was speaking to, like I said before, the responsibility of those who represent us in different facets of the society.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yes, okay. I think all right, I think it's better now. It's better. Now. It's better. You can continue, please. It's better, Barrister.
I am saying that.
Okay, I think we're still having a little bit of that glitch there. I can hardly hear Barrister right now.
Okay. I am saying that if those at National Assembly decide to do that, we see the Assembly who want to where we just
okay, I think that's a good one. Barrister, if you can still hear me, I just have one last question for you. Can you hear me very well? Can you hear me?
I can hear you very well.
Okay, fine. Very well. Okay, great, good. So I would love to ask. Yes. Well. Okay, beautiful. So Barrister, I would love to ask you, what do you think should be the best thing Dr. Tunji Alausa, the Minister of Education, would do or should do at this particular point, because everything stops on his table? What do you think he can do now to restore back the perception, the good perception to Waec? We just had the last one with JAMB, which didn't go down well with the JAMB registrar. And now we have it with the Waec. What do you think the Minister of Education should do now? Is it to sack lots of people, or should people pay for some of these things? What do you think should be the best thing that Dr. Tunji Alausa should do now?
It's a go back to foundation. Look at our education structure. Look at what people are doing and what they are not doing well. Look at the kind of teacher you have at the primary school. Some of the people who are at the primary school are teachers today. I tell you, some of them are there not because they have interest. They are there because they just see it as a way of let me just say salary. They are not interested. They don't even know it. Some of them are not even qualified. Some of them you'll be annoyed, and they are teachers. So until we have that level of if you don't have that proper foundation at the primary school, it will affect you at the secondary school. So and what we are seeing today, it's not only about the fact that the government is not doing well. The environment, the students are not until they day to exam. Some of them will not even prepare at all. Some of them don't even understand. In fact, I have a student who was, somebody said, he was doing Waec. He has a paper tomorrow. I was asking him, what paper do you have tomorrow? Is he thinking of it? It took him like 10 minutes for him to remember the paper he has tomorrow. I'm telling you, it's tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm not saying next month. Tomorrow, he said he has a paper tomorrow. I also asked him, what is the paper are you writing tomorrow? It took him 10 minutes to give me answer. So what I'm saying is that there are a lot of decay, there are a lot of structural foundational rots. So they need to straighten those things, because you cannot just wake up and say you just from the top everything will set. No, we have to rejig everything. Society generally is rotting, and as long as society is the way it is, I tell you, we'll continue to have the same story that we're having.
Thank you so very much, Barrister. We can't overstate some of these facts because they are reality before us. If we take a look at the foundation of our educational system, lots of educational premises right now are gradually converted to estates. You see a school that is close to that is up to 5 hectares or 7 acres of land. The government of the day come encroach into that land and convert a larger part of that to estates. And one is asking, well, how then do you think public primary schools and secondary schools, the students in there can do better when the environment is not good enough for them to survive and do better? I'd love to believe that the responsibility of the government of the day is not actually to take care of private schools, because private people take care of their institutions. It's for them to focus on public schools and equally regulate what goes around. But unfortunately, we have a system that is below par and not doing all that it ought to do. So very sad. That is the reality we have, and we hope that things will get better as time goes on. Thank you so very much, Barrister. We truly do appreciate you once more and always. All right. So that's just about the time we have. We'd love to say thank you. Please do well to visit us. You can find us at enterprisetvnews.com. You may equally like, comment, and follow us on all our social media platforms at Enterprise TV7. I am Henry Gwebike. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.